A new chapter that will end with a quiz on the Friday before spring break. A lot of rules. So on the first page that I'm including today is a graphic organizer. You're going to want to have this as you go through the next week or two. And we'll go through these. Sometimes we might have to go through more than one a day. But hopefully, for the most part, it's going to be 1 day per rule. Okay. So, first day is going to be pretty easy, but then it gets tougher. You really need to print this packet because I'm going to expect you to copy things down otherwise. The problems are too long for you just to try to write an answer. There's too many steps on some of the problems, so you've got to get it printed. I'm telling you now, you might be able to sneak by on the first day, but eventually I'm just not going to give credit unless it's printed. So we got to problem solve whether you come up to the school and pick up a packet, which is always an option, whether your parents print it at work, you print it at home, it doesn't matter, but getting it printed needs to be done. So today we are just doing this right here. So this is going to be Wednesday this week, and then here's Thursday, and then here's Friday. But today, when we add and subtract monomials, we combine like terms. We don't change the common variables in the exponents. That's going to change starting tomorrow. But basically, when things match, so in this case, these things match, so they are like terms, we can combine them. So if I have 9 of something, and I subtract 10 of that same thing, so again, it's because they match, then I am left with a -1. And I still have those things. So like if I were to call them apples, or whatever you want to call it. If I had 9 apples and I subtract 10 apples, I have -1 apple, which I realize doesn't make sense, but this part doesn't change. Okay, and then we have this subtract 6W from 8W. That's just rewritten like this. And that would equal 2W. So going on to the next page here are your definitions for the day. And it says that a monomial is a number. It is a variable. Or a product of numbers and variables. Examples: 5x, 3x squared. We can even put some negatives in there. It could just be a single number, like -6/11. You could have negatives here in front, like what we had up there. A lot of different options. So monomials with the same variables and exponents are considered like terms. So again, just as it says above, to add or subtract monomials, we need to combine like terms. Okay, and we also call that CLT. You're going to see that very common. So I'll do just some basic ones here. Then I'm going to jump down to the bottom and do some of the harder ones. So it says add or subtract the following. So if I have 17 of something and I subtract 25, I now have -8x. Down here, these match. So I can do the same thing. If I have -15 and I add 6, and I have -9 a cubed b c. Further down, let's make it a little harder. When I start to look at one like number 9, see my y's match here, so I can combine those. my z's match. So if I have 3 plus 4y, I now have 7y. If I have 9z minus 3z, 9 minus 3 is 6z. And then down here, a little further, number 12 is one that tends to throw people off. They see the squares, but you notice the square is above the m here and here. And then this one's different because this is squared on the n. So I have 10m squared, and that subtracts, so it subtracts 1. That leaves me with 9m squared, and then nothing happens here with this one. It just drops down. So as you do this one, I've done 4 of them for you. You need to finish up the other 12. And you also need to turn in the notes from up here. So again, if you don't have this printed off, you just copy down everything that we wrote up here and then get it all turned in by tonight's deadline. That's all. Have a great day.